On time. I like it to be right dead on it.
On time.
On time. All right, guys, welcome to Jtwes Monday Night Live again. Thank you. Hope you like the picture of the peach tree. Peach tree blooms. Hopefully they'll hold on.
Yes.
Which last year that tree self-pruned itself a little bit.
Oh, yeah. Because there were so many peaches. It was
Yeah,
way too heavy.
it self-pruned itself a little bit. So, but we'll put boards under it again this year if we have to. That's okay.
Yeah, prop it up.
Yeah, we'll prop it up.
We'll do
But
what we need to.
hope everybody's doing good tonight. I'm chatting a little bit till the commercials go away, and Lena will tell me when the commercials.
Well, it still plays this. It doesn't
Do
play.
you see the? I know it still plays
Yes,
it.
you have to do skit.
Yeah, I know it still plays it, but it's no need for me to start doing other stuff until everybody's live and they're with us and we're ready to go. Who's first in?
First in is Timbo.
Timbo.
Howdy, neighbor.
Golly, he done beat everybody.
Yeah, Jason McDonald.
Jason
second.
McDonald. Jason McDonald got a first comment.
Oh, did he?
Yeah.
That still counts, Jason.
Yeah, I had to think about what it was. I knew it was something.
Welch Farm NC is on.
Hello, Welch Farm.
And Welch Farm says starting April 1st, soil tests are free at Extension in North Carolina.
Woo, that's pretty good.
Butterfly Farms.
Hey,
is
Butterfly
here.
Farms.
Janice is on.
Hey, Janice.
And John Briggs.
John Briggs.
Paul Ford is on.
Hey, Paul.
Good evening. Potatoes and snap beans are up. Sweet corn planted. Sweet potato slips are up in the greenhouse. Things are fixing to get busy. Sounds like it's already been busy for you, Paul.
Yeah, my big gardens, guys, up where I plow day Sam, all that land up there, he's always stayed on top of the lime, and that's why it probably does so well up there.
Yeah.
I don't have to worry about his land too much. He stays on top of it.
Orbra's on.
Hey, Orbra.
And William May.
William May.
And Joey Neal's on. Says, hello, Joey and Leno, and everyone else. Hope all is well with
It
them.
is, Joey. I'll send you a picture of the model number of that mower, needless to say. No, I said mower. Tiller that we were talking about. And needless to say, you can't find a fuel tank for it, so we're going to have to try some Avipel rust. Hopefully that will get the rust out of the fuel tank. And if we can get that out, I think it'll be okay. I think it'll run. It just had a real rusted fuel tank on it.
David Waldrop is on.
David Waltrip.
Says, hey, Joey and Leno, hope you're having a great day.
We are. It's just been busy and just trying to set up some stuff for Jtwes through PayPal. And I'll tell you, we'll talk about that in a little bit. I mean, it's nothing big or anything, but it was very nice and exciting to see me needing it.
Stan is on.
Hey, Stan.
Says,
Stan got his ringer cut off.
says, good evening to all. I trust everyone's well. Still 6 weeks away from my tractors getting antsy. And Joseph Lott says, good evening.
Hey, Joseph. Yeah, I tried to call Stan today. That's why I said his ringer's off.
Oh, Joey Neal says, what kind of tractors are you getting, Stan? Well, it's just going back to
Yeah,
his tractors.
Yeah, going back to his tractors, Joey. He's got a couple, one or two. He likes tinkering with.
Elliot Lindsay's on.
Hey, Elliot.
Good evening, Jtwes and crew. I made it this week.
Yes, we did.
Farmall Fanatic is on.
Hey, Gino.
It says, hey, party animals.
Party animal.
He's on the wrong line.
Yeah, Gino, I don't know about that. I hadn't seen that video of yours yet. I want to check that out with that 88 series tractor. My buddy, and you may have heard me mention my plow day buddy, the guy I went to high school with. He's got a 54 88, and I really like that thing.
Haggy Farm is on.
Haggy Farms.
And T. Hawkins.
T. Hawkins.
Elizabeth Nybeck.
Elizabeth Knight. That's a new name.
Yeah, their farm name is I May Farms.
I May Farms.
It's in Boyd's Creek, Tennessee.
Oh, wow. Boyd's Creek. Did we ride through Boyd's Creek if we went to
Gleason.
Gleason?
Which is past Knoxville, Nashville.
Yeah, so we
not quite to Memphis.
You got to remember, we're coming from North Carolina, so did we go through there going to Gleason?
Which I'm sure we
It sounds familiar, is the reason why I'm asking.
Oh, okay.
I think I seen a sign that said
Boys Creek. Okay. Greg is on.
Hey, Greg.
Says good evening, folks. Bonnie Hawkins is here.
Miss Bonnie.
Hi, all. Celebrating my son's 17th birthday.
Mm.
I'm definitely not old enough. Bonnie, I feel you on that. I feel you.
Yeah, let's see.
Will's about to be 25.
Whatever year it is Leno's son is that age.
Yeah. So that's what I said. Will's about to be 25.
Yeah.
Definitely not old enough.
It's easy to remember how old he is.
Farm Life with Avery is on.
Hello, Avery.
Said, hey guys, I bought a 295 planter unit from Blanton Farms.
You drove a ways.
I'm real excited.
I am too for you, buddy. That's a good planter, especially if Nick had it.
J Peel is on.
Hey, JPL.
Says good evening all. Hope all is well.
It is, bud. JPL, I actually broke down and looked at Amazon UK this evening because sometimes Amazon UK will have some stuff that we won't have, and because I have bought a couple things off of the UK Amazon site before, but you didn't have it. So, Avipel Rust it is.
John Dudley is on.
Mr. John Dudley.
Says, hey y'all, I'm ready for the summer tomatoes and squash.
Yeah, I am too, but I probably won't plant stuff like that, guys, until at least May. We're going to get through April before we put beans or tomatoes or okras, cucumbers, stuff like that. We'll concentrate on getting the corn in the ground, hopefully maybe mid-April, something like that. Maybe start cultivating some potatoes and garlic and onions and stuff, but I won't push too hard for, I call it the warm season garden. I don't want to wait too long, but I don't want to push it out there too early either. Green beans, to me, they've always liked some warmer nights and warmer days, and of course water. They love water, but seems like when it's cold, those things, they don't take off good.
Cornbread is on.
Hey, Cornbread.
This is Monday Night Live, keeping up with the Joneses.
I don't know about that. Ain't much to keep up.
Orbra says, going to plant taters Thursday or Friday, was going to wait until the end of April, but can't stand it no longer. I know.
Well, Orbra...
it's hard to hold back.
Yeah, Andy and Megan's up there pretty close to you, buddy, and they done plant it, so I would feel like it'd be okay. And I looked at the long-range outlook, and it could fool you right now. You could look at the long-range outlook for, say, next 2 weeks, and you could be like, well, we could go and plant some sweet corn, and you probably could. But I still think there's a third week of April real cold snap. I swear I do. It always seems to be one in third week of April. Did you lose your place?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Farm Boy,
talking about
Farm Boy
potatoes.
59 is on.
Hello, Brian.
Good evening. Hope all is well. Mark Phelps is on.
Hey, Mark.
And Joey Neal says you should be able to look on the right side of the transmission to get the serial number to be able to date it on the tiller.
Yeah, well, I was more talking about the engine. It has the numbers on the front of the engine there because I was looking to get parts for it more than I was the tiller. I'm hopeful that the tiller portion's okay. It's pretty decent tiller. And I'm fixing it up for Ellie so he can run his middles out with a tiller, and then he can keep the rest of his little garden hoed. And if you run the middles out with the tiller, you got a nice little garden there.
Elizabeth said, I'm 15 minutes from Dollywood.
Oh, wow.
So it's near Gatlinburg,
Yeah.
Pigeon Forge.
Okay.
So not far into Tennessee.
Yeah.
Yeah, because we've gone there to Gatlinburg, and it's...
Gatlinburg a bunch, but Dollywood...
We haven't been. I'd like to go.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever been to Dollywood, but I've been in the town it's in.
Pigeon Forge.
Pigeon Forge, but we've only... Like, of all of our mountains trips, we went to Pigeon Forge one time, but we went to Gatlinburg every time.
Sorry, I can't stop yawning. I'm like having to pinch my lips together to stop, and now my eyes are watering. I don't know why. I'm just so tired all of a sudden. Maybe it's because I've just sat down. I've been kind of busy today and
Well, just yawn. Don't worry
round
about
and
it.
about.
I was gonna say, don't worry about it, y'all.
Greg wants to know, do you plant any carrots down there?
I planted some about a year ago and got a couple videos of it when I planted it and when I dug them up out of the ground, and they did decent. I mean, they
They were very skinny.
They got about that long. And I had a couple that was pretty good.
Oh, okay. I just remember the really skinny ones. It was like a pencil. But
I had never planted any in my life, and yeah, I mean, they did good and they had a good little taste. I think somebody commented it for me to put a board over where I planted them, and when I did that, they sprouted. I don't know what to do. I can't remember. Y'all probably know what the deal is there, but I put a board because I planted them in a little row. And I put a board over that.
Ricky Eats is on.
Hey, Ricky.
Good evening, y'all. Hope you're doing good. I watched an older video of you and Sammy. You have really come a long way on your videos.
Well, thank you, Ricky.
Yeah.
I think that just comes with practice more
Yeah.
than anything.
And comfort level
Yeah.
kind of goes up. You get more confident about like how to do a video.
Yeah, I don't like to say
explain.
we got any better. We just got more comfortable.
Yeah. It does
with
take
it.
some getting used to.
And then I do all the editing, and you see things like, okay, we don't need to stand. Sammy's back doesn't need to be, my back doesn't need to be to the sun. My face needs to be to the sun, because if I don't, it'll just wash it out. But then you have problems with seeing his shadow when you do that, and you just learn different things. And if I knew my editing software better, I probably could do better with some of that stuff.
Well, I don't know. I just feel like some of your videos are just top notch. Like the editing and the music. I mean, like some of them are just really.
Well, you're supposed to.
Well, I guess so. I'm partial.
You're biased.
But it's like a beautifully put together video, and it looks so, like some of it is a little bit of maybe when Will filmed from
Yeah.
the drone, and it just was so.
And I'll let you on a secret, guys. Those shots from the tractor this
On the
past
last video.
I actually did those shots. Nothing wrong with Sammy or anything, but Sammy is in 11th grade. He'll be in the 12th grade next year, and my little baby boy is going to be wanting to get a job, and he won't be around. So I told Sammy, I said, Sammy, I need to. He helps me. We think about what we want to do, and he helps me. And I got a magnet that a buddy of mine at work, Jeff, took and gave me. And that thing, man, when you stick it to a piece of metal, it's done. It doesn't matter if I'm plowing, it ain't coming loose. And I used that, and it came out pretty good. I was pretty satisfied. We'll probably use that a little more this year, because it did provide some shots that I've never been able to show before, that close to a disc, and that close up underneath the tractor and stuff like that. But I did kind of want to let y'all know Sammy wasn't walking that close to the disc, because some of those shots were pretty.
Right. Because if I would have seen that and thought it was Sam, I would have been a
Yeah.
little upset.
But I'm just practicing for the day that I might have to buy a couple of extra tripods. And Leno will always film for me too, but she can't always do it either. She's got work and kitchen stuff she does, and cooking, and seems like she's always cooking for 4, 5, 6 people.
5S Homestead is on.
5S.
Hey guys, hope everyone's doing good tonight. Still have some cool temperatures here in southeast Georgia at night. Hoping to get some seed in the ground soon.
Yes, sir. I'm going to guess that 5S, that there's maybe 5 of y'all in the family. My mama, she had a little logo one time. It was Beaver Hill 5J.
Oh, was it?
Yeah. And so that's why I seen that 5S.
Avery said, it isn't here yet, but James is going down there in a few weeks to pick up something and is going to bring the planter back at the same time. So he hasn't gone and got it
Oh, okay, James Moore. Yeah.
yet.
Well, tell him bring me back that 7-shank tiller when he goes down there. Nick knows what I'm talking about.
Robert Crumbly is on.
Hello, Robert Crumley.
Can't wait till the Jimmy Red comes in. I'm going to buy some. And he says he's from Gainesville, Georgia.
It should grow there. My Jimmy Red that I started come from Rayleigh Farm and Field. I call him Preacher Rayleigh. And he is in Alabama. Yeah, I'm pretty sure Alabama, hot Alabama. And so I think you'd be okay. Somebody emailed me, I don't remember the name, and they live in Florida. I think it would do fine there too. And Danny was talking about it the other night on his live stream, trying it where he's at in Mississippi. I think it'd be fine there because, like I said, it came from Alabama. And just Lord willing, well, yes, I look forward to having plenty of seed to sell y'all. It'd be great to do that. And I was just talking to Roger today. We got to get the planter, not the planter, the picker. And I was thinking about that. If I use that picker, I may need to leave 2 rows empty about middle of that field, so we're not, when we pick this, it's a 1-row picker, we're not having to go all the way down the other end of the field, go out, all the way to the top of the field, go out, all the way down there.
Make you a shortcut.
Until we close it in, go ahead and just make a, I hate doing that though, because especially if it's a real beautiful field of corn,
Yeah, that
and
could
then
be
you got
2
this road that
rows.
ain't,
Yeah, it could be take up
You know
2
what,
rows.
if we do that, I may just walk out through a row and pick it, and then we can drive over it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. I don't wanna do that.
Warherstead Videos and Pictures is on.
Hello, Warherstead.
Says, Warherstead here. Mike usually posts, but he's traveling. Spring is sprung and happy planting. Your honey is on its way.
Thank you, thank you. I thought that, I was thinking in my mind that I had just got an email from him.
Yeah.
Lena will tell you,
That's very nice. Thank you.
I am a Winnie the Pooh when it comes to honey.
Yeah, I'll have sticky on the kitchen in random places, and I'm like, oh, Joey must have been in the honey again.
Yeah, I'm a sucker for some honey. I graduated with a fellow. I see him every now and then. Robert, I'm about confident, he's in Caswell County, and he sells honey. And I always like to try to get some from him when I see him at the hoedown.
Yeah, that's usually where we get it.
Yeah, because he,
he's at the farmer's market.
It's Caswell honey, so you feel like it's, got some of the pollens that you would need some resistance to. Robert Neal, I believe.
Janice said, I was raised to start gardening here on Good Friday. And yeah, we usually try, well, we can't even go by Easter because sometimes Good Friday would be in March. And,
yeah.
That's...
Easter, as somebody explained it on here last week, it goes with the moon.
It's like
and
the Sunday with the first full moon or something like that. And we've got the other cornbread is on.
Other cornbread.
Oh, both cornbreads are on now. But Cornbread says, does anybody know where I can get some Thomas Jefferson corn seed?
Yes, Rayleigh Farm and Field.
And that's Railey.
Yeah, Rayleigh Farm and Field has a YouTube channel, so you can search it on YouTube, or you probably could do a Google search and it would come up. And just tell them Joey at Jtwes sent you if you call them or something, or send them an email. But yeah, he has that, but he has something else. I talked to him back in the spring, and for the life of me, I don't remember what it was, but it was another corn that he had found that almost extinct, and he's raising it this year, and I really want to try to get some of that, and I cannot remember the name of it, what it was, but you mentioned the Thomas Jefferson corn. He started that from a couple of cobs that were found somewhere. I forget how it goes. He can tell you the story better than I can.
Allison's on.
Hello, Allison.
She says, hey, friends. I know they're having shooting practice today or this evening.
I heard y'all chatting it up, Allison. I was in there working on the computer.
Joe was in a different room, so we didn't include him in our conversation. Shop Piddling is on.
Shop Piddling, I like that name.
Evening, all from Blues Creek.
Blues Creek.
I always have to think, do I pronounce it Blues? Yes, I do. I picked me up some seed potatoes ready to get them in the ground.
Yeah, I might go out there tomorrow, or I'm not sure. I do know what we're going to do. We're going to, hopefully Thursday, we're going to help Roger a little bit, get some equipment moved around, some equipment fixed up, ready to plant.
I told you.
Is my sister?
Yeah.
You can text her if you want to.
Okay.
Some equipment ready, and we may even, if it's dry enough, we may even jump on the Ford tractor Thursday and do a little tilling with it. I was picking with him. I asked him, I said, you sure you don't need me to bring that International up there and take care of what that Ford can't do? But it's funny because we both agreed that it probably wouldn't make it up there before the tire got flat.
Hold on, sorry.
Did you text?
Yeah, well, that's what I'm doing now. You know I'm not a fast texter. Okay. Greg said thank you. You answered his question about the carrots.
Oh.
Shane Jeans is on.
Hey, Shane.
Blanton Farms is on.
That's Mr. Nick. We just talking about you, Nick.
Graham Presser is here.
Hey, Graham.
They said, we are harvesting our sweet corn at the moment. Fantastic crop. Pumpkins looking good too.
Did he say harvesting sweet corn?
He's in Victoria, Australia.
Oh, okay.
I always
Yeah.
remember Graham because Graham is spelled a little differently, and I always know Graham is Australia.
Okay. All right. He said harvest now. What y'all doing?
Yeah. And he said, praise God for his
It's-
good crop.
Is the weather?
It's pretty much, I mean, I think it's always warm in Australia.
Okay, so maybe that's what it is.
That's why they grow the big spiders there and stuff.
Yeah.
Orber said, what is your advice on planting spring garlic? I've never planted any. I feel like you have posted a video or talked about it.
Yeah, no, I had never planted spring garden. Somebody, one of you, and one of you guys whoever sent me that garlic, and forgive me guys, I can't remember all that stuff, but one of you guys sent me the garlic, and I may have planted that in the spring the first year. The very, very first year that I planted garlic, in which it would be, if you went through my videos, it'd be about 3 years back. And so I don't know. I think I did plant it the first year it was in the spring, because I think he mailed it to me over the winter. I don't remember. But I would assume it would be like, and I'm not real sure, but I'd assume it'd be like me planting those onion bulbs back there. I planted those onion bulbs, and they have surpassed the onions that I planted last fall, which that didn't take a whole lot because the onions I planted last fall took a beating. But the onion bulbs are up about that tall now, up to the point where I need to kind of wring a little soil back away from them. And
asked me for a spoon.
yeah, I asked you for a butter knife that I could bend.
I said, I can't spare any butter knife.
Well, Danny had a butter knife, and so I wanted a butter knife.
No. Yeah, because I have plenty of spoons to spare because I have some ugly ones.
But to answer your question, I think if you planted it now, you'd be okay. Long story short.
I missed Paul's comment. Paul's on. Real fan night.
Oh, hey, Paul.
Good
Paul, I
evening.
got them pictures. I enjoy seeing that stuff, man. I hadn't had a chance to text back.
He says, evening, guys. I agree with the yawns.
And now you at home, Paul, or you still on the road?
Avery's always hustling. Avery
What's
said,
he hustling now?
he said, telling, hey, Blanton Farms, call me tomorrow around 5:30 if you can. And Nick is so sweet. He said, will do, Avery. Will's on. Will said I could walk that close to the disc.
You probably have walked that close, Will.
Well, and Will's,
And why you come see me today, son? I mean, you're off.
Joey.
I mean,
Yeah, Will, I got Ivy Rain a little something.
Yeah,
surprise.
I had Rain something
No,
set up in the.
don't say that. Don't say what it is. And you didn't have anything.
Well, it came here.
It did come here. I put it together. But anyway, no, Will is got such a talent of it. His footage looks like drone footage because it's so smooth and quick and even speed. And one day I'd like to show you guys the behind the scenes of him doing it because it is hilarious. He is like high stepping through that field.
I just can't believe
just
Will.
running
He
full
ran off.
speed.
Will just ran off and got married and left the YouTube channel.
I know. How
What is wrong
selfish.
with him?
So selfish. He is.
Golly.
I tried to raise them better.
He just dropped me for Megan.
Johnny Ederson's on.
Hey, Johnny.
He said, "Good evening, everyone. Getting in late. We have revival this week."
Oh, that's okay. That's a good, perfect reason. Speaking of that, there will be a Monday in May that will have revival that Monday night and won't be able to do live, but it's in May. It's a couple of weeks off. I was hopeful that we could have live out in the shed again one night pretty soon. But you like your couch, don't you?
I do. I like it being in here in the house. I don't care what degrees.
We
it
can
is.
do one or two out there.
Okay.
One or two.
Custom Cutter 100 is on.
Custom cutter. And what about? Okay.
And good evening, everyone. A friend bought a belly planter for a Super A. It is missing the square crossbar and bracket. Does anyone have a lead on one?
Y'all know what I'm gonna say.
Yeah, Burch store tractors.
Somebody in the comments is gonna go and type it in. Burch store tractors. Would you know? Yeah, I think Custom Cutter knows that though.
Blanton Farm says I used that tiller Saturday.
Oh, good. You know, Nick, I'm picking about that tiller, but I don't know that I'll use my international tiller this year because of that 300 tiller just did so good. I mean, she really, well, it showed it when I cut that cornfield that y'all seen that video Saturday. That's what that 300 ran over.
Bonnie says, "I'm ready to win the socks."
Yeah, Bonnie.
She's
How many we got in here?
92.
92. We're gonna do it now. All right, guys.
I'll come back to everybody's comments.
Now,
I've got a bunch of comments.
All right, so let's remember you were at Bonnie, was ready to win the socks, so you'll
Okay.
have to go back to that.
Since Bonnie brought it up,
Yeah, since Bonnie brought it
I'll
up.
go back to everybody's comments after this.
I'll say a few things before that. Thank you all who ordered some socks. It tickled me to death. I will say this. You got a good pair of socks, and Camel City Mills actually cut me in on a pretty good little percentage, off of the socks that were bought. And I told Lino, I said, well, goodness, if I could get 1,000 people to buy socks, we could go to the beach.
So going to Joey's channel, if you do purchase it, does help Jtwes.
Yeah, it showed me. I got this email that said you need to update your affiliate link with a PayPal Pay Me address. And I have one, I just never use it, And so I went to the affiliate link and looked at it, and I was like, oh, wow, man, 6 people bought some socks. But thank you guys so much. That tickled me to death, and I appreciate that. So, yes, we're going to give a pair of socks away. And they sent me 2. Like I said, and maybe I didn't make this clear the other night on the video, and most of you folks was watching this probably already know this. I was already a sold customer on these socks before they even asked me to put them on my channel. So I was like, yeah, I'll put them on there, no problem. But they sent me 2 pairs for putting them on my channel. And I gave one to JL, and this one we'll give away tonight because I had already bought a bundle of them for my personal use. But I mentioned on the video that I would ask the question. And it's not a real hard question, especially if you watch the whole video. You'll pick it up real easy. But I totally know I wanted to be fair for people like me who type slow. Who pick slow. So when I ask the question, I'm going to take the first 5 correct answers. Lino's going to write the first 5 correct answers down, the people who got the first 5. And then she's going to cut them little first 5 up and put them in something.
Yeah, we'll draw.
And draw out a name. Because I told her I felt like, if you got a Speedy Gonzalez on the chat here. Gonzalez, because I don't type fast. And I was going to get Megan to choose a winner, but I didn't want to bother her with it tonight. But long story short, that's what we're going to do. So the question is keep this in mind too, guys.
They're like, oh, what else?
Well, they fit a size 11. No.
It's going to be a range.
Size 11 to size 13 foot. So
They're kind of bigger.
These are 11 to 13 socks. So if you got a size 5 foot, you may not want to write down.
Yeah.
Unless you just want to win some socks.
Yeah.
But
you might have somebody in mind you can give them away.
yeah, but Camel City. All right, the question is, I was cutting the cornfield up there, and towards the end of that video, I mentioned planting something else in that cornfield. What was else I'm going to plant in there other than Jimmy Red?
So we'll see.
That's one.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, we already got
I
the
got
5.
5. All right, let me.
One Pan Man was
Yeah,
one
one
of them.
pan man. Mr. Johnny is 2.
Johnny Edgerton.
Yeah. And just write David because he's on a 1. David.
Okay.
And Stan.
Stan.
So 1, 2, 3, 4, and Shane Jeans
Okay.
is the 5th one.
Okay. All right.
All right. These guys watched that whole
I
video.
know. I'm proud of it. I told Joey, are you sure you're going to
Let
have
me-
5 people to answer the question?
Let me get a hat.
I was like, that's kind of embarrassing. Oh, I have a cup here.
Oh, I got this hat. Whose hat's this?
Will's. I've been waiting to give it back to him. I'm not giving it back until he brings the baby
Will,
over.
say goodbye to your hat, boy.
I know, they're going to say, raffle the hat.
Say goodbye to your hat.
Okay.
It is gone.
Yeah, I was worried you weren't going to have 5 correct answers.
Oh my gosh, is that thing that far behind?
It's always behind, Joey. We go through this every time.
I know, it is just now showing the
But
hat.
they'll see it in a few minutes.
Jeez Louise.
Here you go. It's always like that.
All right. So,
All right.
mixing them up, get that person back in there.
Yeah. I did all of them. It's just one fold, so it's fair. Close your eyes.
As fair as I know to do it, guys.
Oh, you want me to do it?
Yeah, Leno's
Okay.
going to do it.
So y'all don't get, the other 4 who don't win, don't get mad at me.
Get mad at her.
Okay.
Shane Jeans,
Shane Jeans.
5th one.
Woo!
See there? Oh man, the first person that answers is going to be mad. Who was the first?
Well, I think it was one pan. Let me
One
look.
pan. Shane Jeans, email me at joey@Jtwes, and we will get you these Camel City Meal socks.
Yeah, he was the 5th person.
I know, I said whoever was the first one, who was the first one?
One pan man.
One pan man's like, what? Because he's the
But,
first.
well,
Guys, this on the way.
Maybe, I mean, if they just really enjoy the giveaway, so we
Okay.
can find something small to give away at least,
Yeah.
once a month or something.
So now go back to
Miss Bonnie, who
Miss
started
Bonnie,
everything.
who started the whole thing,
I'm
so
sorry,
we can catch
Bonnie
up.
didn't win. And speaking of Shane, he was the next comment after Bonnie.
What did
saying,
Shane say?
I finally have my fertilizer hooked up on my 100, I think.
Cool deal. Good deal. We got to get it hooked up on the Super A. I'm going to use the Super A for planting corn this year because I feel like I need the 140 free for the disc and maybe a few other things. By the way, I didn't mention it on the video the other day, but the video where I changed the hydraulic filter, I don't know if I videoed it, but you guys know I changed the hydraulic filter on the 140. It does pick up the 122 a lot faster than it did.
Let me, I got to tell some of these answers too.
Oh my
Besides
goodness.
watermelon.
Well,
'cause
go
some
back.
of them are funny.
We'll get to it.
Okay.
I don't want to.
All right, well, I just figured since we were on the topic.
No.
Okay.
We'll get that
let's
quick
speed
enough.
through everybody else.
No.
5S Homestead said you'd be right about the 5S.
Okay.
So it's him, his wife, and 3 girls, twins that are 8, and baby girl is 5.
Oh wow.
He said,
Cool deal.
pray for me, brother.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, and I will pray for you because I was in an old girl's household too. And, my dad is like a saint, keeping up with all of us. So it was good. Girl dads. Blanton
See, you
Farms-
would have missed that comment.
No, I was going to go back to it. Blanton Farm says, I've got some Jimmy Red seed if anybody needs some.
There you go, Nick Blanton.
And his YouTube is Blanton Farms.
That's right.
Martin Farm is on.
Hey, Martin Farm.
Good evening, Joey and Leno. Roger's on.
Hey, Roger.
Shane Jeans, where do you get your corn treatment? Can't remember the name.
It is Avipel, and it is in the description of all my videos with a new link to a website that you can buy a quart.
Do you get any kickbacks from them?
No, I don't get no kickbacks. It is, I'm trying to get a hold to the guy. And guys, this is what I'd suggest. Call that phone number and get a live person and ask them, can they sell it any less than a quart? Like a half a quart or a pint? Because you guys, you don't need.
Yeah, it'll last like years.
A teaspoon will plant.
It really coats it.
Yeah, the guy that sent me the Avipel, I guess the company that makes it and stuff, he had sent me an email a couple weeks ago that said he wanted to asked me if I was going to do another video on it, and I said, oh yeah, I'm sure I will, because I just think it's that great of a product. I want you guys to know that there's a product out there that will make a crow sick. But he said something about getting an application rate, and I was like, well, I thought we agreed that, a teaspoon per maybe, a couple of pounds. But I'm just going to try to call them again, and if anything different, I'll let you know. Description of video, phone number. All right. You better quit jumping ahead.
I already said Roger's on. Okay. Janice said my birthday's on Easter again this year.
There you go.
Allison said, tell him we had to play in girl things he didn't have to hear. Pedon's Junior Produce is on.
Pedings Junior Produce?
Pedon's.
Okay.
Hello,
hey, guys.
Hello from Eastern North Carolina. I planted peaches and cream Saturday.
Yeah. Eastern North Carolina is a little bit ahead of us.
William May said...
Peaches and cream's good. I think Roger likes it.
William May said, everyone please hit the like button.
Thank you, William May.
And Stan says, the weather down under is opposite ours. Our summer is their winter. This time next week I'll be 15 miles off Venezuela. Sort of neutral weather there.
Oh, wow. Who said that?
Stan.
15 miles off Venezuela?
Mm-hmm.
Where you going, man?
Danny Henley is on.
Hey, Danny Henley.
Hey, y'all. Planted ambrosia corn. It has a sweet taste.
I want to say Charles, his son, at church plants ambrosia. Mm-hmm. I think he said it was a real sweet corn.
Maybe we'll have to tell him to give us a sample of it,
yeah.
so we can see. Orber says, thank you. I planted some last week. I don't even remember what that conversation
Potatoes,
was.
maybe.
Yeah. Paul says, up in the mountains still, working 6 days a week here for the foreseeable future.
Oh, wow. I'm sure it's a lot of contract money to be made up there, Paul. At least in the trucking industry, anyway.
Janice says, Will, I can't wait to meet our new country girl. Talking about Ivy.
Yeah.
Yeah, and she's got several Carhartt outfits.
Oh, yeah.
I think Natalie and Hannah got her some little Carhartt things that she hasn't grown into yet. Some probably plow day.
Did we tell everybody that we had a little boo coming?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
I think. Yeah, Ellie and Kaylee are expecting a baby in August, and so they're having a boy.
Yes.
So we're excited, and now we get one of each, and they'll only be 6 months apart.
Yeah. So I get to put 2 grandbabies on the tractor at the same time.
Yeah.
You know Megan ain't liking that.
Paul says, JTS merch coming soon, ? Taking the Will out, taking the W out.
Oh.
Because Will left us.
Yeah, no, it's BJT
Yeah,
West.
no, because we all still get together for everything.
Oh, trust me,
like,
Will loves filming.
Yeah.
Anytime he's over here and I happen to be filming, boy, he'll take it out from Sammy's hand real quick. He will fire Sammy.
Right, and plus, we always do like the big events like Plow Day together.
Yeah.
We went to the farm show all together.
Yeah, Will filmed all the farm show.
Mm-hmm. And plus, Jtwes is all the foundation of where everything started,
Yeah, I'm sure one of these days he'll probably want to do him another video himself. The videos that he's posted, they don't get a lot of traction right out of the gate. But man, some of those videos he's done over the period of time, a lot of folks that's not subscribed to the channel will watch them just for, whatever purposes, and they do good. I get comments on his Dakota paint video quite a bit.
Yeah.
I ain't even looked at how many views it's got.
And I think it's sweet that a lot of the comments are talking about what a fine young man he
Yeah.
is, just talking about a truck review or a paint video.
Yeah.
And because Will's just got that sweet countenance about him. Shop Piddling is on.
Yes.
Oh, did I already say
Yeah.
them? Sorry. It says, I'm looking for a good used bush hog for 140. Would Brandon have those?
Yeah, he might, but I think something like Facebook Marketplace
Yeah,
would
Facebook
probably keep
Marketplace.
an eyeball out for that. Matter of fact, I think there was one in Hurdle Mills because she was the lady was advertising the 140 bush hog, and I could see the tail end of a coil spring sticking past the edge of the picture, and I messaged her and said, I'm not really interested in the bush hog, but that coil spring tiller you have in front of it in the picture, would you sell it? And she said she had already sold. And then I figured out who bought it.
Somebody bought it out from under him.
In Hurdle Mills. I come down in my backyard and bought that thing.
They come and stole his merchandise.
It was James Moore.
Yeah, I know.
I texted James Moore. I said, boy. But no,
Right under your nose.
I was tickled for him.
Yeah.
I'm glad he was able to get it because I think it'd do him real good.
Paul said, I need to do some laundry. Buying more socks sounds easier and more appealing right now.
Paul, I'm telling you, man, these socks, they are wonderful. And JL likes them. He said he's going to try them in the combat boots and see how they work there. But just wonderful sock. I need to get me a few more pair because I'm having to do laundry too quick because I only have four pair.
Shop Piddling says, always for bigger people, LOL. Maybe if we give another pair away, we can maybe get your size and a more
Well, my size
smaller.
is 11 and a half and 13.
I know, like a smaller,
Oh.
like maybe size 9 through, or 8 through 11, or
Yeah.
8 through 10. All right, so you want to hear the wrong answers for the,
Oh, so now we're down to the answers?
yeah. Some wrong answers were green beans,
Yes, that was a guess.
peas,
Peas.
banana pudding,
Who said that?
cornbread.
Oh,
You know, they're always funny. T. Hawkins said turkeys.
turkeys. He's
There'll
probably
be some
right.
turkeys
He's
there.
probably right there.
Yeah. And poor David Waldrop said, I watched the video twice. But he did say watermelon, so
Oh,
he was
did.
right.
Yeah, he was right. Guys, I want to see how many. This is just for fun. How far are the comments on down? How close are we on them?
Pretty far.
Okay. Where were you at? Right in there?
Yeah.
Okay. Just for fun, my question was going to be, but I looked back at it and I kind of said a couple of different things related to it, and I was like, well, you could get the wrong answer, but my question was going to be, how far did I back the disc out of cutting angle? And that's what my question was going to be, is how far did I back that disc off the first time?
Bonnie says, y'all answered before he finished asking. Goodness. I can so hear that answer because that is what I'd say too. Everybody needs to calm down. Let him finish the question.
Well, if I was smart, I have seen YouTube channels where they have these programs, and somehow it takes the people that are in the chat and it randomizes it.
Oh yeah, we use that at work.
I don't know how to do all that. It's not done through YouTube. It's done through
an app. Yeah. We have to.
And I'm very reluctant on who I give, because you would have to give that app permission
Your information
for the YouTube channel, and that's another source of maybe backdooring your channel and taking your channel over.
Well,
so.
we use it for our work, and it's worked out good.
I know,
because we do giveaways, and everything's virtual now, so everybody's name is put in a spin wheel. So, Janice said, "I just want a watermelon."
Yeah, I think it'll be a good little spot for watermelons, and it can service us and Sam and And everybody, we're gonna put 2 or 3 good rolls in there.
Janice, yeah, I already said Janice's comment. Bonnie said, congratulations. One Pan Man said, all was fair. Congrats. Congrats, Shane Jeans from Avery.
Yes.
And Shane says, thanks. I never win anything. So I'm glad. And Bonnie says, me too, LOL. And Tim Hawkins is on.
Hey, Tim.
Another Hawkins. Says, congratulations, y'all. I got here late. Custom Cutter is saying, Shane, make sure you have the drive gear in the bottom of your fertilizer distributor. Don't ask me how I know.
Yeah, before you put all your fertilizer in there.
Joe with the W is on.
Hey, Joe.
Howdy, y'all. I'm out in the shop painting the planter, and we'll get ready to plant in a few weeks.
Y'all some painting fellas, boy. Nick, James Moore, the W. Y'all probably get mad at me because I don't paint nothing hardly. Nick will get a piece of equipment. Mm-hmm. He just did a New Holland planter. Mm-hmm. Looks like it came off the showroom. And it's hard to paint a Holland planter because it's a special green, a special white, and a special red. The wheels are red, the planter's green, yeah. And I'm sitting there rolling my rust busket out.
Well, it's more over function than beauty.
Yeah, I'm big on function, I am.
Avery says, if anyone wants a complete Farmall 140 fertilizer drive with a good hopper for $750, if anybody's interested, I just want it gone. So that'd be Avery. Farm Life with Avery. Joe with the W says, Avipel will call you back if you call them because they called me today and we talked a little while.
Oh, cool. Well, is that Joe with W? Mm-hmm. The number I'm talking about is in the description of my video, and it's not the people who make Avipel, it's the people who sell it.
Stan says, good deal on a tractor there, LOL, Aruba. Ooh, Aruba.
Oh, man.
He's going to Aruba. It's so beautiful there. I've only seen pictures.
I mean, he's in Florida. Where else could you want?
Well, he's not like in Key West. That's like the most beautiful part of Florida.
He's down the hill pretty good ways.
Reed Neck is on. Not Redneck, Reed Neck.
Reed Neck.
How did your cotton pan out this year?
It did great. You know, if it had been a deal where, you know, we'd have went through and sprayed it so it'd bowl out, you know, quickly and, you know, how they do it, it would have combined it like crazy. But the whole ideal for that cotton was to take wedding photos, which it served its purpose, and it's still serving its purpose because it wasn't but just a couple weeks ago, Sam's wife sent me a picture, people taking picture in the cotton because right now it's brown and it still has little cotton balls on it, so it shows up good in the picture. Mm-hmm. But we're going to bush hog it soon.
Well, we used it for our plow day background too, our picture spot for plow day. It looks good there too.
Yeah, we're going to, that's another reason why I'm going to put it where I had my Hastings Prolific, because they can still take pictures there, but it won't be in the plow day field. Sam wants to try sunflowers in the plow day field, and he's going to try to get some sort of spray to spray on them to keep the deer from eating them.
Let's see. Janice says, how does she like her blanket? Oh, I don't know, Janice. I'm sure she likes it.
Yeah. She's got a lot of blankets. I think she got one from church.
Well, yeah, from Mrs. Duzanne.
Yeah.
There's a lady at our church who crocheted hundreds of baby blankets, and she's been passed away like probably 3 years now. And so we have a big bin of them at church. So when anybody has a baby, they get one of Mrs. Duzanne's crocheted blankets. And, you know, it's just so lovely for that tradition. So she's got a Miss Duzanne crocheted blanket too. So we appreciate that, Janice. Custom Cutter said, mine fell off last week when I tried fertilizing and planting peaches and cream at the same time.
Oh, man.
Cajun Homestead is on.
Hey, Cajun.
Hello, Jtwes family and friends. I missed the question, which was the second question. And here's the answers for it. David Windrop says 1 inch.
Yep, he's right.
So does Johnny Edgerton.
Yep.
Joey Neal. Timbo, Blanton Farms.
Man, y'all pay attention better to videos than I do.
Yeah, I mean, they really did good. Bonnie says, I know you bought 5 pairs for $100, LOL.
Well, then I said a little more. Yeah, it's a little over 100, but it's you know, those Wrangler socks I bought, the 10-pack, they were, I don't know, it seemed like it was about $30, and they wear out in no time.
We're about to do our taxes. Don't think that's not going on there. We're like putting everything on it.
Yeah.
Robert Crumley said you also said cotton.
Cotton.
I don't know what conversation that was a part of.
Oh, well, it was probably, I probably said something about cotton in the Jimmy Red, I mean, in the Hastings patch. I probably did.
Custom Cutter also said 1 inch. Shop Piddling said 1.5 inches.
Yeah, I think that's why I didn't use that, because somewhere in there I may have said 1.5 inches. So I told Lena, I said, I need to use something that's no question, which the only thing I could think of was a watermelon.
Janice said, are you and Roger going to work on our corn picker? Yes, that's the corn picker.
In due time.
One Pan Man said, yes, that 140 needs some lipstick soon. Will said, could someone gift Jtwes 10K to fund the Dodge Dakota Inline 4 Cummins swap? Will always has some weird, outlandish requests on here.
Yeah, y'all don't pay that no mind.
Or he'll say like 50,000 likes.
Well, you couldn't put a Cummins diesel in that truck, son. First of all, you'd break the front axles because it weighs too much.
Deep South Homestead is on.
Hey, Danny.
Says, hello, Jimmy Red was up in 3 days.
All right. Well, I'm glad to hear that, Danny, because you know, that's when I said something about raising a bunch of Jimmy Red this year and then selling the seed, you always have in your back of your mind, man, what if that stuff don't germinate good? And you got all these people bought this seed. But I'm glad to hear that. I'm tickled to hear that.
Avery said about to plant my 215 soon, then rolling cultivators, then my homemade scratchers.
There you go.
And Avery, don't encourage him. Will, that's going to be awesome. Put a bed stack, lift, big tires and rims, and it'll be awesome.
Yeah, I think Avery.
Oh, not plant my 215 soon. And I didn't know, but he said he meant paint.
Paint his 215.
He's going to paint his 215 cultivators and scratchers. All right.
Yeah, we just got. Oh, did you get caught up?
I was speed reading everybody's comments because I didn't want to miss any before they hopped off.
Danny, we got to get you some rolling cultivators for that cub of yours.
Wave Oglesby is on.
Hey, Wave.
How is your graft trees doing?
Wave, the grafts that I did last year because they were on a stump, and I'm sure I mentioned this in a video towards the end of last year. I started with 4, all 4 lived, and little by little they started getting blowed off the stump because for one reason that big stump, and you graft it right there on the end of it, whichever, if that wind's blowing the direction of that graft, it just kind of broke it right off. And it had got all the way down to 1 graft, and that graft did great. It was real tall, and I cut it back some, and it was starting to get thicker down there at the stump, but it caught a wind one day, and it either a wind or a deer, one or the other. It could have been a deer, but
we probably need to if you have to do that again, we need to put some tin around it or something for a wind barrier.
It's funny that it's funny you brought that up because I just asked Danny. I want to try air grafting, and it's where you take the bark off of a limb and you encase that in wet dirt, and in about 2-3 weeks, a month, I'm not sure the time, it will grow roots right there. And then you cut it off the tree and then plant that in the ground, and you're cloning that tree is what you're doing.
Okay.
So if it's a tree you like, you're cloning it.
Okay.
Where grafting, you're grafting.
Combining,
Yeah. But you're basically cloning it. I would like to try it with my pecan tree. So yeah, it's funny you asked that question.
Cajun Homestead says watermelon and 1 inch. I win.
Oh, and Wave, we're gonna do a video one day where that Ram truck pulled the rest of that stump out of the ground. It just ain't got dry enough to do it yet. Or the 140. Will a 140 pull it out? Will a 140 pull a Bradford pear tree stump out of the ground? That'd be a good video.
Danny says that would be awesome. I am trying to convince Wanda I need a second cub.
Well, he needs something he can hang up under his one he's got. They make some, Danny, that's pretty light that you could put on those arms with cuffs.
Avery said, that is not weird. Yes, you could make it work for the kid. Cummins are great and would make that truck faster than a race car.
Yeah, guys, I'm not big on. Will knows this, and he knows that my eyes glaze over when it talks about modifying something that wasn't from the factory.
Custom Cutter said, I planted Jimmy Red for the first time last week. What's the best way to cook it, boiled or roasted?
Well, Jimmy Red is it's a field corn, so you're not going to be super sweet. If you catch it in the milk, say it's full, and not overly full, you probably want to catch it on the lesser side of full than you do full. You guys that raise corn know what I'm talking about. It's going to be white, it's not going to be red, and I've tried it, and it tastes just like a good whole corn that you would buy maybe at a Food Line or something, not sweet corn, but just regular corn. It's got a little bit of a chew to it because obviously the hull's a little thicker than what sweet corn would be. It was okay. I mean, I wasn't.
But are we using Jimmy Red mostly for what, grinding?
Yeah,
or?
the Jimmy Red, I think where it really excels at is cornmeal, grits, obviously feeding your cows and.
Deer corn.
Well, deer love it. We did a test about 1.5 years ago. We poured a pile of Jimmy Red out, and we poured a pile of just store-bought yellow corn out. And the yellow corn, I don't think, if one kernel got moved, it was because the wind blowed it. And they tore that Jimmy Red out of the ground before they started touching that yellow corn.
Blanton Farm says, I just finished that F36 disc yesterday afternoon. It looks like new now.
Now, Nick, was that the F36? Is that the bog hair? I think it is. And I was telling, if that's the bog hair, I was telling James Moore the other day, if you take that bog hair and you cut with it, and if you're going to the right, keep going around and around to the right, and you keep putting your front wheel where the center of that disc was, it will actually level the field, and you won't have no V's in it. But it will actually, I've done it before, it'll level the field. You'll have disc tracks about that far apart because you're cutting half and half and half at a time, but you're actually double cutting it too.
Joe Neal said, I'll try to send you a link. I don't know what that's in reference to.
Maybe 2 parts or something.
Danny says, all our air grafts worked. We planted them this year.
Yeah, I knew you had some videos on it. That's why I asked if you thought the pecan would work. I'm just going to try the pecan tree, Danny. I'll probably let it leaf out a little bit, and I'll pick a limb that seems to be about 1 year old, and we'll try the pecan.
Wave said, I bet it was a deer. I have a big issue with them eating my trees.
Yeah. I know a couple times it was the wind because I'd seen it right after a thunderstorm. But like I said, grafting on that big of a stump like I did, I was tickled that I was able to make it live. But I'd say that probably wouldn't be ideal situation to graft on that big of a stump because like I said, it didn't really have no place to get on there and build some strength.
Janice said, I want to help on the picker. My dad found it.
Cool deal. That'd be good. It'd be probably in July, August.
Timbo said, did you see Mike Morgan's firewood processor?
I did. I told Leno last night, I said, Lord, have mercy. If I had that thing, boy. But of course, you got to be set up for something like that. I don't have no front end loader. You'd need a front end loader, and he has that track hoe and tractor and stuff. But if you're gonna sell firewood like he is, that is a nice piece to have.
That's a good investment.
Yeah.
Good night, Avery.
But man, you can pour the firewood out of that thing. Goodness gracious.
Yeah, Avery's got to go to bed at 9.
Night, Avery.
Haggy Farms is on.
Hello, Haggy
I'm
Farms.
going to try to air graft a pecan tree.
He is. Let me know. Email me how that goes.
Because we'd like to do that too.
Yeah, I'd like to clone the tree I got.
Yeah, because it's wonderful. It's beautiful. And it's
yeah.
grown really good.
It's done real good. It's only got one little spot of mistletoe on it, and so that's pretty good. Which everybody likes mistletoe, but I think it's actually a fungus.
Yeah.
You don't actually.
Well, and that was Mrs. favorite tree.
Yeah.
She'd get up there and act a fool and try to bite you when you try to get her down because it was the tallest.
Yeah,
Because
she
we would
liked
be
that.
out there watering in the pipes down beside the trees, and she would have her whole arm stuck in that pipe trying to get the water, and then she'd run up the tree. She loved that.
Yeah, if any of you guys ever noticed around my fruit trees, and I have PCV pipes, I think they're 4-inch pipes, 5-inch, 4-inch, and they're pretty deep in the ground. They're about a foot, foot and a half, 2 feet in the ground, and I fill those pipes up with water in the dead of the summer if it's super hot, and that lets that water, and it takes about 30 minutes for it to do it, but that water will leach out under the ground at the roots, which I know most trees, it's worked good for me, but I do know that most water drinking roots on a tree are closer to the top of the ground, but this has worked out good, so maybe there's a couple down there that's getting it, but it's saved a lot of trees.
Joe with the W says, I just went and looked at a small set of rolling cultivators that would have been perfect for the cub, but I decided to get a larger set for the Super A.
Yeah.
And
I'd say, I'll be honest with you guys, I like the rolling cultivators that they're about half wore out. They end up being about 13 inches, 12 to 13 inches round, and they seem to work pretty good for me. I have a set that I've never showed on video, never had them on the tractor on video, that are, I think 14 or 16 inches, and they're brand new but old stock. And they're huge, heavy.
Stan says, Joey, tell Danny you know a guy that has several cubs available, only a 1,200-mile round trip.
There you go.
Paul said, the Jimmy Red makes some good cornbread and grits, also pretty good boiled and distilled. Yeah. Good night, Janice. And Blanton Farm says that's the one like your smoothing harrow, not the bog harrow.
Okay. Well, don't double cut it. You ain't got a middle to get into.
Brad Hagan says.
That's right. Yeah, doggone it. The one you sent me the picture of. I'm sorry, Nick.
Brad Hagan says, our favorite apple tree here in Western Illinois is Enterprise. Macintosh Golden, Delicious, Rome Beauty, and Crabapple Malus Floribunda for scab resistance.
I wished I knew, I don't know a lot about trees, but I know enough to maybe get a graft to work. But when we moved here in 1980, and so in 1980 I was 9 years old, guys, so maybe it was bigger than I thought, but I remember an apple tree. It had to have a diameter that big. There were 4 of them, and they were right along this field right here. And they were full-size, old apple trees. I wish.
And of course, y'all cut them down?
No, I think they end up just dying and stuff from old age.
Okay.
But
let me tell you, the Joneses love cutting some trees down. And I mean not just trees for firewood, I mean beautiful yard trees.
well, she's referring to the 2 oaks that's in my daddy's front yard right now, which both are hollow. One of them has the potential to go straight through the house if it catches the right wind. And I said, we need to cut it down before we're got an insurance claim on our hand. And she just,
they've been saying it's hollow for 10 years, though.
no, I haven't said that.
I've heard it for 10 years.
Not to mention that the 3 other ones have already died and fell down, so they got a precedence there. You know one of them fell down, right?
During the hurricane?
Yeah.
Hurricane
And
force winds
and
usually
the sweet gum fell down during the hurricane, and the ash tree.
I don't remember those. Wave says you should try and plant some seedless watermelon this year since you did so well with seeded last year.
Yeah, they just don't seem as sweet to me. I'll be honest with you, I like them, and I was very and Roger, I think, maybe had one, but it amazed me that the watermelons that I planted didn't have that grocery store Coca-Cola red center to it. They had a nice red center, but it wasn't dark red. But those things was sugar. I mean, they were sugar.
Shop Peeling says, good night all. Gotta face the nation. And Custom Cutter says, good night. 3:30 comes early. Have to take father-in-law to dialysis tomorrow.
Oh wow.
Yeah, that is early. It is 9:05.
Yeah, he's back and forth between 2 states too.
It's 9:05, and you know I've been drinking that tea.
9:05. So what's the tea?
Means I need to go to the restroom. I've been needing to go for like 30 minutes.
We'll go to the restroom.
No, it's. I mean, our numbers.
I know. I'm
People
just saying. I'm
gotta
just
go to
saying.
bed.
Yeah. Stan said, "Oh yeah, Stan did have some of that melon." And Daryl said good night.
Oh yeah, the melon we brought with us. Yeah.
Oh, here, Mike. I don't want you to forget.
Oh, they ain't pulling me out. All right, so when I get back, I'll turn off the live.
Yeah, I'll wait till you.
I need a restroom break.
Lino needs a restroom break. All right. Timbo, just so you know, put that TTFN in.
Oh yeah, ta-ta for now.
Ta-ta for now. Timbo, we don't talk like that on this channel, buddy. I'm just going to tell you. We don't use ta-ta words. No, that's pretty good. I'll shut it off myself. Guys, thank you all so much. Hopefully, we'll get to have some fun on some of Roger's equipment this week, and obviously, we'll bring you along. And one of these days, we'll do a pull-off between the Ford and the International 300. No, we ain't going to do that. But I do look forward to driving his Ford tractor. That is he's done a lot of work to it, and that is a sweet tractor. But y'all have a good week. I hadn't looked at the comments. Sorry if anybody said anything. God bless you. God loves you. We'll see you. Oh, man, I need my glasses. Can't see how to cut the live off. Let's see.